Hello guys, welcome to another video. This one is paper 2-2 of May-June 2015 for AddMath. So let's move on to question number 1. So here we have the universal set contains all the integers from 0 to 12 inclusive, which means it is from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until 12 for the universal set. Now given that we have set A, B and C are given as follows. Okay. Now part 1 we have to complete the Venn diagram for those three sets. Now first we always begin with the middle value, which is the one which is in all the three sets. So let's check which number is in all the three sets. So we have 1, so here we don't have 1. Okay, so here we have 2, 2 and 2. So it's 2 is everywhere. That's the first step. Here we have 3, 3, no 3. 8, no 8, 12, no 12. So 2 is everywhere. 2 is the only value in the middle. Now we look for A and B. What is in between those two? 1, no 1, 2, 2. 2 is here already. We have 3, 3 will be here as well. Those two. Here we have 8, no 8, 12, no 12. So only 3 will be, and 2 will be between A and B. Now for A and C, same steps. So we have 1 here, here we have 1. So we have 1. 2, 2 here already, 3, no 3, 8, no 8, 12, no 12, so only 1. Now for B and C, same steps, 0, no 0, 2, 2, 3, no 3, 4, we have 4 here, 6, and then here we have 6 as well. Okay, so here we go, that is for B and C. Now the rest we can just fill out the remaining, so for A will be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 8, 12 remaining. And for B will be 0, 2, 3, 4, 6, so 0 is only B. And then for C we have 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10. So now let's check if we have anything outside. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is missing, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So this will be your Venn diagram for these information. Now for part 2, we have to state the value of A prime intersecting B prime intersecting C. So A prime will be outside of A, intersecting B prime will be outside of B. That will be these values, which is 3, 7, 9, 10. Now for part 3, write down the elements of the set A prime, which is outside of A, which is outside. Then we have intersecting B, which is this one. So we have to separate this like this. Okay, so B intersecting C will be this one. Outside of A will be only this one. That will be 4, 6. So the set will be the elements 4, 6. And that will be your answer for question number 1. Let's move on to question number 2. The table below shows the number of passengers in economy class and in business class, economy and business class, on 3 flights from London to Paris. The table shows the departure times for the 3 flights and the cost for a single ticket. Okay, that's the cost. Now part 1, write down a matrix P for the number of passengers and a matrix Q of the single ticket prices such that QP can be found. Okay, so we have to write two matrices, P and Q, Q and P. So first let's write down P. So P is for the number of passengers. As you can see, we have this and this. So let's see how can you write this. So we can write this like this. So we can write economy and business class. So let's see, if you write this way, it may not work out. So we have to write in this way, 60, 50. So we have to write economy here and then business below. So that will be 70 and 52 and then 58 and 34. That is economy, and here for business, and that is your matrix Q. So for P, because if you want to multiply, this is P actually, not Q. Sorry, this is P. So now for Q, what can we do? So Q, we want to multiply QP. This one is a 2 by 3 matrix, so if you want to multiply, you will have to have this kind of matrix. We have to have these two values for the prices, 120 and then 300. That is Q. Price for economy times economy, price for business times business. Okay, that is QP. So now we have to find the product of QP. So let's do that. Rows by column, rows by column, and rows by column. Okay, so you will have 120 times 60 plus 300 times 50. That is the number of, that is the cost, not cost, but the revenue for each flight at each time. Okay, that will be 120 times 70 plus 300 times 52. And then we have 120 times 58 plus 300 times 34. That will be 17,160. That is QP. So now we have to find R. So we have R as this. So explain what information is found by evaluating the matrix QPR. So this is QP. R will be at the end, which is 1, 1, 1. So by doing this rows by column, you can see you will have this times this, plus this times this, plus this times this. So you will have the sum of every value here. So now what are these values? If you observe, these are the values of the price. This is price times the number of passengers of each plane for the departure time. So everything together will be what? Will be, you can call this as the total revenue for the flight, for the 3 flights on the table. You can say, okay, let's do that. Let's write this down. So QPR is basically the total revenue for both economy and business class for the 3 flights. So everything together will give you this times this. You have the sum of everything, so that will be the total revenue for this 3 flights. That is your question number 2. Now question number 3. Here what do we have? We do not use a calculator, so we have to find the answer step by step, showing all the steps to find the answer. Now we have, the diagram shows a right angle triangle ABC, where AB is this value and this is 90, and the area is this. So find the last side, find the length of the side BC. So we have to find this length of BC. So we have to use this information here. The area of this triangle is this. We have to find BC. So how do you find area of triangle? You know it is half times base times height, which is half times base, which is 6 plus 3 root 5, and height is BC is equal to 36 plus 15 root 5 over 2. So we have to make this become the subject of formula. So first we can simplify. These two will cancel out, and then you will have BC is equal to 36 plus 15 root 5 divided by 6 plus 3 root 5. Now we can simplify. Let's divide everywhere by 3. You will have 12 plus 5 root 5 divided by 2 plus root 5. Now we have to simplify this this fraction. Multiply 2 minus root 5, 2 minus root 5, because it is the conjugate of this one. You will have this time this will become, so first 12 times this will become 24 minus 12 root 5, and this time this will become plus 10 root 5 minus 25, and the base will be 4 minus 5. That will become, so 24 minus 25 is minus 1, minus 12 plus 10 is minus 2 root 5, divide by minus 1, that will become 1 plus 2 root 5. Okay, this is your answer in terms of this. A and B are integers, A and B are integers. That will be part 1. Now for part 2, find AC square in the form of this. So if you observe, AC square, pretty easy, because we know that it is a right angle triangle, and we know we can use the Pythagoras theorem, which says AB square plus BC square is equal to AC square. So let's do that. So from here we have AC square is equal to AB square, which is 6 plus 3 root 5 square, and plus BC square, which is 1 plus 2 root 5 square. That will be 30, for the first one, that will be 36 plus 2 times 6 times 3, that will be 36 as well, root of 5 plus 9 times 5. This one will be 1 plus 4 root 5 plus 4 times 5. Simplify. So this plus this, and this. So you have 36 plus 45 plus 1 plus 20. That will be 102. And the rest will become 36 plus 4 will be 40 root 5. Okay, so that will be your answer for part 2, where C and D are also integers. Okay, that is your question number 3. Let's move on to question number 4. So we have a river which is 80 meters wide, okay, flows at 2 meters per second between parallel straight banks, okay. A man wants to row his boat across the river and land on the other bank directly opposite his starting point. He is able to row his boat in still water at 3 meters per second. Okay, now part 1, find the direction in which he must row his boat. So let's do that. So it is best for you to make a drawing so you can have an idea of how to find the answers. So let's first draw the rivers, the bank. You have 2 parallel lines for the banks, and the guy wants to start at point A here, go directly to point B. We know this distance here is given by 80 meters wide. Okay, now we know the river is flowing at a rate of 2 meters per second, which is in this direction. For example, you can take any direction you want to. We can say, let's say it is in this direction, right? In this direction, for example. Okay, so this direction will be the same as this direction. So we can just transfer this one to here. It is the same value here, right? That will be at 2 meters per second. Now, for this guy here, he needs to steer his boat in this direction so he can arrive in this direction, because when he goes in this direction, the river will push, and then he will be reaching to B. So he has to go in this direction. Okay, so we have to find the direction in which he has to row his boat. So we can find the bearing for this one. Okay, so how can you find this value? Because here we know it is 2, and here it is given as 3. This is right angle. We can find this value. Okay, so we can use SOHCAHTOA. Okay, so here what do we have? We have this side is your O side, opposite side, and this side is your H side, which is this one. Sine of alpha is 2 over 3. Alpha will be sine inverse of 2 over 3. That will become 41.8 degrees. That is your value of alpha. Now you want to find the bearing, which is this angle. That will be 360 minus 41.8. That will be 318.2. That is the direction. So you can say the direction will be on a bearing of 318.2 0.2. That will be your answer for part 1. Now for part 2, we have to find the time it takes for him to cross the river. So time taken can be found by using your formula, which is speed is distance divided by time. Time is distance divided by speed. So you have to find the speed. According to the drawing, we have to find this speed. Let's call this r. So we can find this by using the Pythagoras theorem, which says r square plus 2 square will be 3 square. R square will be 9 minus 4. That will be 5. So r will be root 5. So here you go. T will be distance is 80 divided by root 5. That will be 35.8 hours. Sorry, this one is not hours. It is meters per second, so it has to be second. 35.8 seconds for the time taken. That is question number 4. Now let's move on to question number 5. So we have to solve the equations to find the value of x and y. So step by step, we can first let's make which one? Make y, or make x become subject. You have 4 minus y. Replace this in this, you will have 2 4 minus y square plus 3 y square equal to 7xy. Expand, you will have 2 16 minus 8y plus y square plus 3y square is equal to 7xy. So 2 times 16 will be 32 minus 16y plus 2y square plus 3y square equal to 7xy. Now we can solve. So this 2 plus will become 5y square. So here we have to replace as well. We have minus 16y plus 32. 7x is 4 minus y times y. This will become 28y minus 7y square. So we send everything to one side. You will have 5y square plus 7y square minus 16y minus 28y plus 32 equal to 0. So 5 plus 7 will be 12y square minus 16 minus 28 will become minus 44y plus 32. Now divide everywhere by 4. You will have 3y square minus 11y plus 8 equal to 0. So simplify, factorize. That will be 3y times y, and 8 is the value of 8 times 1, right? You can put 1 here, you can put 8 here. To get minus 11, we have to have minus 3 minus 8. So minus minus become plus, so that is good. So y can be 8 over 3, or y can be 1. Now continue with those two values. So we have first value, y can be 8 over 3. X have to be 4 minus 8 over 3, which is 12 minus 8 over 3, which is 4 over 3. Now y can be the value of 1. X will be 4 minus 1 can be 3. So you have two answers. When x equal to 4 over 3, y will be 8 over 3. When x equal to 3, y will be the value of 1. This will be the solution to question number 5. Now question number 6, we have to solve this equation. We have to find the value of x. So how can we do this? So let's see. So first we can expand, right? So we have 6 minus 2. It is the same as 6. Yeah, okay. This is equal to 6 power x divided by 36. So we can cross multiply. You will have 6. that will become, here you will have the value of 36 over 4 will become 9, right? So if you think you have this over here, you send this over here, you will have 36 over 4, that should be 9. Now to find the value of 9, we can take log on both sides. X will be log of 9 divided by log of 6. That will be 1.23. That's your value of x. Now for part B, we have to solve the equation. So we have this. So we have the base of a everywhere. We can combine them together. You will have log base of a 2y squared 8 plus will be multiply minus become divide equal to log of a 4 power 2. We can send this as power. So now we can cross out and then cross out, and then we can also divide. So that will be 4, that will be 2. You have 4y squared equal to the value of 16. So y squared will be 4, so y can be plus minus 2. But now since y will be the value inside of the logarithm, y can only be plus 2, because logarithms cannot take negative values. Now will be question number 6. Now question number 7. In this expansion, the coefficient of x power 4 is 10 times the coefficient of x power 2. Find the value of n. So let's find this step by step. So first we know, let's find the coefficient of x power 4. So we have n, choose something, we have 2x. So for us to get something in x power 4, we have to have 4 here. And this will become 4, and this will become n minus 4. So you have n choose 4 dot 1, now will be 2 power 4, will be 16 x power 4. Now we have to find x squared. Now will be n choose 2, n minus 2, that is 1. 2x, that will be 2 here, you will have n choose 2 dot 1 dot 4x squared. So the coefficient is this one, right? So we know that n choose 4, 16 is 10 times n choose 2, 4. So simplify, 2, that will be 5. So your answer is 2 n choose 4 is equal to 5 n choose 2. So we have to find the value of n. So now we can write this down again as other values, right? So what is n choose 2? It is equal n factorial divided by n minus 2 factorial times 2 factorial. What is this one? N choose 4 is n factorial over n minus 4 factorial times 4 factorial. Replace the values. You will have on one side is 2 n factorial over n minus 4 factorial. What is 4 factorial? It's 24. And you have equal to 5 n choose n factorial over n minus 2 factorial, and then we have 2. So simplify. That will be cancel out. 12. That will be 6. So you have 1 over 6 n minus 4 factorial equal to 5 over n minus 2 factorial. So right now, how can we simplify this? We have to send all the n's to one side, right? So send this here, you will have 6 times 5 will be 30 on one side. This will become n minus 2 factorial over n minus 4 factorial equal to 30. Now, we can of course simplify this. So if you observe, we have to know what does it mean. So let's say, for example, if I ask you, what does 2 factorial mean? It is 2 times 1. What is 3 factorial mean? You would say it is 3 times 2 times 1. So same way, what is n factorial? You would say n, it is n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 until times 1, right? So same thing here, we can write down, what is n minus 2 factorial? It is n minus 2 times n minus 3 times n minus 4 factorial. So we don't need to continue, we can write factorial. So the top will become this, so you can replace, you will have n minus 2 times n minus 3 times n minus 4 factorial divided by n minus 4 factorial. Cancel out, that will become 30. Cross multiply, you will have n square, so you expand the brackets, n square minus 3n minus 2n plus 6 equal to 30. So n square minus 5n plus 6 minus 30, that will become minus 24 equal to 0. Now we have to factorize to find the value of n. That will be n times n. 8 times 3 become, to get minus 5, we have to have minus 8 plus 3. So n can be 8, n can be 3, minus 3, sorry. So n can only be positive, so n will have to be the value of 8. Okay, and that is your answer for question number 7. Now let's move on to question number 8. So here we have a graph of y equal to this, right? And it cuts the y-axis at the point A, as you can see here, right? This graph cuts this at the point A. Now, the graphs of y and the line y equal to x plus 10, they meet at A and B, okay? Now the line BC, which is this one, is perpendicular to the x-axis. Calculate the area of the shaded region enclosed by the curve and the line AB, showing all your working. So I think in the question, this is the area that has been shaded, right? So by observation, how would you find this area? You would say, let's first find the whole area and then find the area below the curve. We minus this area to find this area for the answer. So one by one, let's first find the points A and B. So the point A is the point on the y-axis on this line. So let's say at y-axis, what do we know? We know the value of x has to be 0. So you will have y is equal to 0 plus 10, and that will be 10. So A will be 0, 10. So this is your point A. This is the value 10. Now what is your point B? Point B is a point of intersection between the curve and the line. Okay, so we have the curve is y equal to x squared minus 6x plus 10, and the line is y equal to x plus 10. Here we have this and this. You will have x squared minus 6x plus 10 equal to x plus 10. So simplify, send everything to one side. You will have x squared minus 6x minus x plus 10 minus 10. So these two will cancel out. You will have x squared minus 5x equal to 0, right? So factorize x outside, you will have x minus 5 equal to 0. Oh, this is 7, sorry. Minus 6 minus x will be 7, not 5. So you will have x is 0 or x is 7. So this we know already. We have this point already, right? So we want to find for this one. Now y will become 7 plus 10, that will be 17. So the point B will be 7, 17. So this is 7 and this is 17. Okay, so now you want to find the area of the region. So pretty easy. We first have to find the whole area. So if you observe, what is this shape? AOCD, CB. It is a trapezium with these two sides as parallel sides. That will be half times sum of parallel sides, which is 10, plus 17, and times the length in between, which is 7. That will be the whole area. Half times 27 times 7, that will be 94.5. That is the whole area. Now you want to minus the area below the curve. You have to find this by using integration. So integration of the curve is x squared 6x plus 10 by dx for the limits between 0 and 7. Right, 7 and 0. That will become x cubed by 3 minus 6x squared by 2 plus 10x. That will become simplified to what? X cubed by 3 minus 3x squared plus 10x between 7 and 0. So let's find the values. You will have 7 power 3. That will become 343 divided by 3 minus 3 times 49 plus 70 and minus 0. So here you will have, so answer over 3 minus 3 times 49 plus 70. That will be 37 1 over 3. So this is the area that you don't want. It is area under the graph. So for your answer, you want the whole area minus area below the curve. So this minus 37 and 1/3. That will be 57 1 over 6 units square for the area of that region. And that is your question number 8. Let's move on to question number 9. So here we have what? We have a line y equal to mx plus 4. This one. It means the line x equal to 2, x equal to minus 1 at the points P and R. Okay? P and Q. So we have P and Q. What is this one? Oh yeah, this one is different. P and Q. The point R is such that QR is parallel to the y-axis. Okay? It is parallel to the y-axis. Now, the gradient of RP is 1. Okay? The point P is given by 210. Okay? So we have to find what? Find the value of m. So pretty easy. So we have a point P given to us already, which is 210. Our equation was y equal to mx plus 4. So we know the point P is on the line. We can find the value of m by replacing those values. This is x and y. 10 will be m2 plus 4. So 2m will be 6. So m will be the value of 3. That is part 1. Now for part 2, we have to find the y coordinate of q. So where's q? Q is right here. So pretty easy. Right now you know q is minus 1 and y. And you know the equation of the line is y equal to 3x plus 4. Replace the values in the equation. This is x and y. Y will be y. 3 times minus 1 plus 4. That will become 1. So q, y will be 1. Now for part 3, find the coordinates of r. So where's r? R is here. So how would you find r? You know r is minus 1 and then y you don't know. But we know something here is the gradient of RP is 1. Okay? So we know the point R is minus 1y. And the point P has been given to you by 210. And we know the gradient RP is 1. How do you find that? You have to do 10 minus y over 2 minus 1 is 1. So we have to cross multiply. You will have 10 minus y becomes 3. So y becomes the value of 7. So r will be minus 1, 7. So now you may ask me, how do I know this is minus 1? It's because you can see here tell you the line QR is parallel to the y-axis. It means it is directly above. So this is minus 1. This also will have the value of minus 1 for its x coordinate. That's how I know this is minus 1. That is part 3 of the question. Now part 4, you have to find the equation of the line through P and then perpendicular to PQ, okay, giving your answer in this form. So we have to find the equation of the line which passes through P but is perpendicular to PQ, which is the normal to this line. So pretty easy, because we know the gradient of the line PQ already. So we know the gradient of PQ has been found to be the value of 3, right? So from this we can find the gradient of the normal have to be minus 1 over 3. Now the passing point is P, which is 2, 10. So we can find the equation. This is x, y minus 10 over x minus 2 is minus 1 over 3. So we have to cross multiply. You will have 3y minus 30 is equal to minus x plus 2. So 3y will be minus x plus 32. That is your equation of the line, but we have to express in this form where we have to send this over here. You will have x plus 3y is 32. Now for part 5, we have to find the coordinates of the midpoint M of the line PQ. Pretty easy. The point P has been given to you by 210, and the point Q has been given to you by minus 1, and we know it's 1. So how do you find midpoint? By using your formula, which is x1 plus x2, that'll be 1 divided by 2. That'll be 11 divided by 2. That is your midpoint of the line PQ. Now for part 6, you have to find the area of triangle QRM. So pretty easy. Again, we have to use your formula. So we know Q is minus 1, 1. R is given by minus 1, 7. And M is a midpoint, which is half, and then 11 over 2. So we can just use the formula directly instead of trying to make a drawing. It's best to use the formula. So that'll be half, that'll be minus 1, 1, minus 1, 7. You have half, 11 over 2, and then finish with the first point, which is minus 1, 1. This is called the array method. So let's find the answer. So first you have to multiply in this direction. So you have minus 1 times 7 plus minus 1 times 11 over 2. That will be minus 12.5 and then plus 0.5. Then minus in this direction, that will be minus 1. That will be 3.5 and then minus 5.5. So let's find out. You will have minus 1 plus 3.5 minus 5.5. That will be minus 3. So you have minus 12.5 plus 0.5 minus minus 3. That will be minus 9. But that is inside the modulus. So modulus will be positive value. So half of 9. That will become 4.5 units square. So let's double check. First, let's do in this direction. You will have minus 1 times 7 plus minus 1 times 11 over 2 plus half times 1. Then minus in this direction, 1 times minus 1 plus 7 times half plus 11 over 2 times minus 1. That will be minus 9. So that is correct. You will have this as your answer for the area of QRM by using their coordinates to find the area directly. That is the question number 9. Let's move on to question number 10. So here we have the function f is defined by f of x equal to sin x, but inside of the modulus. As you can see, these two lines mean modulus. Now, we have to draw this curve between 0 and 360. Okay, so we have to sketch this graph. Now, the thing I like to do is I like to first ignore the modulus. So I like to say let y is equal to sine of x. So let's first draw this graph, which is without the modulus. So pretty easy. As always, step by step. So first, let's plug in the value of x equal to 0. So you have sine of 0, that will be 0. Okay. That's the first point. Then we have 90. So sine of 90, that should be 1. So let's mark the graph, scale the graph, so we know it's 1, right? So let's choose here to be 1 and minus 1. 1, minus 1. Okay, and also let's just draw a line so we know where's the 1 value along the graph. So let's say we have the 1 is on this line. Of course, you will be using a pencil when you will draw your curve. If you make any mistake, you can always erase it. Right, that makes sense. So that will be my lines. So sine of 90 was 1. So that will be right here. Okay. Now sine of 180, that will be 0. So 0 again. Now sine of 270, that will be minus 1. So minus 1. And then we have sine of 360. That will be 0. So okay, as you can see, you have your graph for sine of x. Now, this is not your final answer. And again, you will be using a pencil, so you know what to do, right? So basically, what will happen is you will first connect all the points. So this is your maximum point. Something in this shape. It has to be a smooth curve. So here you go. That's it, right? That's your curve for sine of x. So now we have to change this to modulus sine of x. So what does modulus mean? Modulus means everything which is below your x-axis will be going to the other side. So this shape which is below, will be reflected on the other side. So we have to reflect. So this graph below will become this one. Okay, so that is your answer. So you have to, of course, you will erase the one which is below. You will only have the blue one as your answer. So this one will be going away. And these two are your answer for this curve with the modulus. Of course, label your curve y is equal to sine of x inside the modulus. That is part A of the question. Now part B, we have two functions g and h of g. They are defined for this domain. So whenever you see x, it means domain. Okay, domain is more than 1. Okay, now part 1, we have to show that h of x is equal to this value. So how can we show that? So we can just play with the values, because here we know if we use this value of h of x, we can show h of g of x equal to this. Okay, so first assume this is true and use this value to prove this is true. So what do I mean? I will just say, I know this is, let's take let this is true, then we can test what is the value of h g of x. So you know this is equal to this according to the question, but you can prove this is true. So let's do this. You will have exponential, that will be g of x plus 3 over the value of 4. So now we have to simplify. Exponential g of x is equal to ln of 4x minus 3 plus 3 over 4. So now we have to simplify. This will be cancelled out. So whenever you have exponential, ln or ln of exponential, they will always cancel out. Okay, so this will become 4x minus 3 plus 3 divided by the value of 4. Now this will give you, cancel, you will have 4x over 4, and this will give you x. This is exactly as shown here. So you can just write that, because we have proven that by taking this value and showing this is equal to this, we have shown that this is true. So you can say shown as required, shown. That is your answer for part B. Now for part 2, we have a graph here, your y-axis and your x-axis. Now let's see what happens. So the diagram shows the graph of y equal to g of x. Okay, fair enough. So let's go back. G of x is this graph, and the domain is x is more or equal to 1. Okay, so let's write this down. Domain of g of x is x is more or equal to 1. Okay, now given that g and h are inverse functions, okay, very important here, sketch on the same diagram the graph of y equal to h of x. So now you know g and h are inverse functions, we can draw this pretty easily. So why? Because we know that the relationship between inverse function is they are just a reflection in the line y equal to x. So always remember this. A graph and its inverse, they are related by the reflection in the line y equal to x. So here we have to kind of sketch the line y equal to x. For example, that will be this line. Okay, you can just label this as y equal to x. And then you just have to reflect this curve on this line. So let me just freehand this. That will be, so this is 1, that should be 1 as well. So it doesn't need to be exact, it's only a sketch, so you can just try your best to kind of make the mark, and then that has to be something like this, right? Has to continue. Here you go. So you can label this as y equal to h of x. So this is a reflection of this curve in the line y equal to x. So these two are inverse functions, and always remember that whenever you have a function, its inverse is only a reflection in the line y equal to x. Now, question part 3, we have to state the domain of h. Domain is x values of h. Now, you know already what is h, right? So if you look at this graph, what is the domain of h? So of course we have to also mention something here. It says give the coordinates of any point where the graph meets the axis. As you can see, it meets the y-axis at the point 1. So you have to show this for your full marks, okay? Now moving on to the next question. We have to find the domain of h. Domain means the x values. So what are the x values of h? So h is here. You can see x values, it is more equal to 0, but it keeps going on. So as you can see here by observation, x for h has to be more or equal to 0, because you can see it starts on this x on 0 and then it keeps going on and on and on and on. So it keeps going on. That's why you will write this. Now part 4, state the range of h. So this one's pretty easy as well. The range of h you can do by two ways. One is by observation. Range is the y values, is the y values, as you can see. So for h, the y values is at least 1. So which means y will always be 1 or more than 1. So that is your range. So you can write down h. That is your range. Now when you write range, you don't write x. X is only for domain. Range you can write h, or you can write y is more than or equal to 1. It is up to you. Range is the y values, is the y-axis, and domain is the x-axis. So remember this when you have to find these two values. Now something it can be useful in other questions is that we can use a trick. Sometimes we have to use that. We have to know the range of h is equal to domain of g. Because these two are inverse function, we can use this trick to find the range. For example, here, the range of h is domain of g. Domain of g is x is more than 1. So it's same thing, but here, since we're finding range, we cannot write range in terms of x. We have to change x to y. So y is more equal to 1, which is the same thing here, right? So that's a trick we can use to find the range and domains of the inverse functions. Also, this is also true. Domain of h is equal to range of g. Okay, that is also true. Okay, so that will be your question number 10. Let's move on to question number 11. So the diagram shows a cuboid of height h. So this is the height h of the cuboid inside a right pyramid of OPQRS. Okay, that's the right pyramid of height 8 units. This is the height 8 units. And what else will we know? And the base, square base of side 4 has a square base of side 4. Okay. Now the base of the cuboid sits on the square base PQRS. Okay. The points A, B, C, and D are corners of the cuboid. Okay. And lie on the edges OP, OQ, OR, and OS. So A, B, C, D are right here. Now the pyramids OPQRS, so OPQRS and OACD, OABCD are similar. So now we know these two are similar, right? Now part 1, find an expression for AD in terms of h. So where is AD? AD is, let's see. So we have to find AD, this one, in terms of h. So we can use the fact that they are similar and we can find an expression for AD. So let's do that. So AD will become, if you observe, this side is corresponding to this side. So we know AD over 4 has to be, the height of the pyramid will be, so if this is h, this is 8, the height will have to be 8 minus h. So it will become 8 minus h over 8. So there you go. So you have AD will become, so this will be 1, this will be 2, you have 4 minus h over 2. That is AD in terms of h. So now what's next? We have to find the volume V of the cuboid is given by this. So let's find the volume of the cuboid. So it will be length times width times height for the volume of the cuboid. So we know the length is given by this, which is 4 minus h over 2, times width, which is given by what? This value here. Because it is a square, right? It has to be the same. That will be 4 minus h over 2. And the height is given by the value of h. That will be h. So let's see what we have here. This will give you 4 minus h square times h. So that will give you 16 minus 4h minus h square over 4 times the value of h, and that will give you 16h minus 4h square minus h cube over 4. Okay, so let's see where we made a mistake. So I think here this must be plus 4, because when you expand, the value in the end will become positive. So this is positive, so V will become h cube over 4 minus 4h square and then plus 16h. That is the value of V. Okay, that is for part 1 of the question, shown as required. Now part 2, given that h can vary, you have to find the value of h for which V is a maximum. So we have V as h cube over 4 minus 4h square plus 16h. So when V is a maximum, you know dV by dH has to be 0. So dV by dH has to be 3h over 4, that is square, minus 8h plus 16 is 0. Multiply by 4 everywhere, you will have 3h square minus 32h plus 64 equal to 0. So now we have to find the value of h. So factorize. That will be 3h and h. 64 can be, we can try 4 times 16 to see what happens. If you do 4 here and then 16 here, you will have all values. So 3 times 4 is 12. That would not be enough. We can try something else. 64 will be 8 times 8, right? So we can put 8 here and then 8 here. That will be 24 minus 8. minus 24 minus 8, that will be minus 32. So that is the good value. So h can be 8 over 3, h can be 8. Okay, so now we have to check what is possible, because the whole height is 8 already, h cannot be 8, right? So we cannot take this value. H can only be this value. Now find the value of v. V for this value of h will be h cubed over 4 minus 4 times 8 over 3 square plus 16 times 8 over 3. 8 over 3 cube divided by 4 minus 4 times 8 over 3 square plus 16 8 over 3. That will be 18, 26, 27, which is 18.96, which is 19.0. If you want to write correct to 3SF, that will be your answer, which is, I think it is units cube, or you want to keep this one for the exact value as your answer. That is your question number 11. Now let's move on to question number 12. So we have to show that this is a root of the equation, so pretty easy. We have to let f of x equal to the equation, then we replace the value of minus 2 and see what happens. You will have 15 times minus 2 cubed plus 26 times minus 2 square minus 11 times minus 2 minus 6. So 15 times minus 2 cubed plus 26 minus 2 square minus 11 minus 2 minus 6. That is not correct, but let's try again, because I think I know where I made a mistake. So here will be minus, so 15 times minus 8 plus 26 times 4 plus 22 minus 6. I think now it should be fine. 15 times minus 8, that will be minus 120 plus 26 times 4, that should be 104 plus 22 minus 6. So minus 120 plus 104 plus 22 minus 6, that should be 0. So you show the remainder is 0. So because of that, we know that it is a factor of this equation. Now for part 2, find the remainder when this is divided by this. So pretty easy. Equate that to 0. X will be value of 3. So f of 3 will be what? 15, 3 cube plus 26, 3 square minus 11 times 3 minus 6. 15 times 3 cube plus 26 times 3 square minus 11 times 3 and then minus 6. That will be 600 for the remainder. Now for part number 3, find the value of p and q such that this is a factor of this. So let's try, because we know this can be divided by this. Let's see, what do we have, right? So we can try a few things. We can try to use long division if you want to. Let's try that. Why not? So you have this 15x4 plus p 3 minus 3 x squared plus qx plus 6. This is the factor, which is 15x cubed plus 26x squared minus 11x minus 6. Now first question, if you want to make this become this, you have to multiply by x. You will get 15x power 4, and then you will have plus 26x power 3. You will get minus 11x squared minus 6x. That will be cancelled. And here you will have p minus 26x cubed. And then here you will have minus 37 plus 11. That will be minus 26x squared. And here you will have plus q plus 6 x plus 6. So now for you to make this become this, so you know that this has to be the same as this for it to become a factor, if that makes sense. No. So basically we know this must be a factor of this, so usually you will have to, because we have the same value here in the end, so here we have minus 6, we have to make minus 6 become plus 6, so you have to multiply by minus 1, right? So you will have minus 15x cubed, and this will become plus 26, sorry, minus 26 x squared, and become plus 11x and minus, so plus 6. So this is supposed to give you 0, it needs to be cancelled out. This also needs to be cancelled out, this is cancelled out, so you know that p minus 26 minus 15 has to give you the value of 0. Also for this one, q plus 6 minus 11 have to give you 0, because there is no remainder, because we know that this is a factor of this. When you divide by this, the remainder have to be 0. Okay, so now let's find the value of p and q. So p have to be minus 26 plus 15, send this over here, become 11, and q will be 6 minus 11, that will be 5. So this will be the value of p and q. So that will be the last question of this paper. I hope that was somewhat helpful. As always, thank you for watching. I will see you soon.